All they want is their father's ashes, but they can't get them. That was the tip that came into our investigative unit, which brought us to J. Gilbert Purse Funeral Home over in Adrian. It was back in October the family business suddenly locked its doors, and oh, they did not like it when we showed up.
Get off my property! Get off of here!
This was the scene at Purse Funeral Home in Adrian. Another failed attempt to get Michael Paul's cremated ashes and return them to his family.
He was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer in February, was put on hospice care in end of April, and then he passed on May 5th.
But 7 months after her father's death, long after his family paid for cremation services, daughter Olivia Paul says the funeral home won't return her father's ashes to her family.
We trusted Purse Funeral Home to, do the cremation services after he passed, and now that the headstone is made, we can't get access to his ashes and kind of fulfill those final wishes that we spoke to him about before he passed.
This is absolutely crazy that we have to go to a funeral home, sue a funeral home to retrieve someone's ashes. This is unbelievable.
When attorney Steve Hyder was hired by the Paul family, he didn't think getting Michael Paul's ashes returned would be so complicated.
And I'll make 2 or 3 phone calls. I can resolve this issue and we'll be on our merry way and everyone will be happy and we can lay Mr. Paul to rest. And not going to happen that way.
But the business closed suddenly, and now the Paul family says they are victims of the Purse Funeral Home.
The longer this drags out, the longer it could be for them to be misplaced, the more likely it could be for them to be misplaced. That's my biggest fear, is that something will happen and we won't ever be able to find his remains.
Can you imagine the family dealing with that? Well, we did do some digging. We found out that the State Mortuary Services license for Purse Funeral Home lapsed in October. So it's really unclear when or if the funeral home will open its doors again. And no one with the funeral home would speak to us on camera. Over the phone, the owner, Marilee Purse, said the Paul family will get Michael Paul's ashes, but she didn't say when. Of course, we'll stay on top of the story.